How does it do that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Rich, I got you.
Good,
How you
good.
doing?
This is Luke. I'm Luke. This is my first time on, so you'll have to forgive me.
Luke, your name comes up as Rich Gibbons.
Does it?
Yeah. Do you know him?
Yes, he'll be joining me. I don't know why it says Rich. Oh, because he sent me the link. Okay, that's right.
Hey,
Denny. Oh, I don't know if
Let me
it's.
turn
oh,
on.
there you are.
Yeah,
Hey,
there I am.
so it's Rich and Luke.
Yeah. So our internet's down at our office, so we're using Luke's laptop in a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Where are you? Where are you located?
We're in Sacramento.
We got some people on here from San Francisco.
Yeah. I met Ryan Lowry flying back from Mega Camp in the airport. We were just walking through, and I was like, "Oh, you're here at the convention?" We started talking. He's got a mega team, and I'm looking to build an expansion team myself in the next 3 years. That's the goal. And then he's like, and I do script practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with United Home Group. And then he told me about you here, and I was like, well, I'm jumping on that. So, and then Luke is, I run the ALC career development. I was doing script practice here in our office. And I was like, well, let's go learn from some experts.
Well, good. You get to participate. Generally, I have a co-host today, John. I'll tell you all in a second. As you've seen the news, I'm in Fort Myers, Florida. So we hit we just had that Category 4 storm 2 days ago. And
How are you guys?
I'm lucky enough to have electric. In fact, I was on another call and my internet flooded a little bit. So if you lose me, wait, it's just not stable yet. So we're coming back from the dead. It's going to be, they say it was a 100-year storm. You probably have seen some of the pictures. It was just incredible.
They said there was like 1,000-year level of water that reached in some parts of Florida, like just incredible.
Yes, I've lived here most of my life and been through, that was my third hurricane. That was the strongest storm surge that I've ever seen. I think they had like 15 feet of water. And just crazy. Our islands are barrier islands, Sanibel, Fort Myers Beach. In fact, the bridge to Sanibel, which is probably the most luxury market we have, other than Naples. I'm letting people in. took out the bridge and the causeway. So it'll be really interesting how people are going to get there. So it's been an interesting couple of days. God's good. I live inland, and it will be a market changer for us for a while. And so we'll probably do some role playing with local people on how you handle that. I don't think it's really germane to you guys. I'll do my best to keep it germane to you. I've got 1 o'clock. I appreciate everybody being on. And as you guys know, as I was just talking about, I'm located in the Fort Myers, Naples area. And yes, we're still cleaning up from the storm. I have electric here. I'm not running on generator. Most of our county and most of Southwest Florida is without power, without water. And we've been without water too. So if my hair looks a little funny, it's probably because I didn't get to wash it today. We don't have the water. So anyway, it'll get better. Generally, I have John McLeod, who is my co-host, and he is actually helping somebody out who lost their home and lost everything. So if you see anything on the news, it is exactly like that. And it's going to be interesting coming back from that. So moving forward, this takes place, as you know, basically, we are going to be talking about the mastering. I love the word mastering, question-based, listening enhanced conversations. So we've got some new people on here. You guys can put in the chat if you want where you're from, and you might be able to get some referrals back and forth. And we're going to get on with a mastery level role play. So if you're familiar with Zoom, normally I start out with a thought of the day. So here's my quick thought of the day. The thought of the day, and Gary Keller says, is we're moving from a speed market to a skill market. And there is no question that the market is shifting, right? So what Gary says is it's going to be skill-based. I'm going to encourage you to do a couple of different things. Number one, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. I've got about 100 different videos there, almost a year and a half worth of training, totally free. In fact, I'm so proud of this. Look at this. This is my first. I've given birth to a QR code. That's the QR code, you guys. If you can take a picture of it, it'll take you to the YouTube channel, or just go to Denny Grimes, Master of Real Estate, and subscribe. That would be awesome, right? And my second thought of the day is that we better be ready to have conversations. Now, our conversations here in Florida are going to be different. In fact, anywhere in Florida, because people are afraid of alligator, snakes, and hurricanes. And you probably see more alligators, a few snakes, and hurricanes aren't that common. However, people's fear kind of magnifies. So today, what we're going to do is something different, because John's not here. I don't have to get permission from anybody. I want you guys to participate. I have come up, I just got back from teaching Bold in Appleton, Wisconsin. You guys realize they love cheese curds up there. So we're talking about cheese curds, and they helped me come up with a list of 10 of the most common buyer and seller objections that people are seeing. And some of these we've already seen before. And I want to know, if you want to learn, you want to play full on. We got a couple of guys here from Sacramento, Rich and Luke, and they're avid script practice people. Maybe you'd like to participate. And what we're going to do is just go down in the bottom there and raise your hand. I'll be able to see the screen. If you want to participate in a role play, because I don't want to do all the talking, I'll let you pick a number between 1 and 10. I will then find the objection, and then we're going to model it with question-based. And again, the model we follow, and for the new folks on here, let me just go to that slide, is we acknowledge, we isolate, we address, and we close. So who has their hand up? Who is ready to move forward and wants to grow a little bit? We have a small group here. Who's going first? I see it's either Rich or Luke.
We're here. Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yes. So I don't know. Are you both playing? Who wants the first one?
We're both in. Luke, you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
Sure. Am I going to object, or am I going to be the client? Or
You're going to give me a number 1 to 10. I'm going to give you an objection, and I am going to then role play buyer or seller. Then somebody else can actually then take the easy part and be the buyer or seller and role play with Rich or Luke. So first of all, 1 or 10, I'm going to go with, actually, Luke, you were the first one on. You're going to go first. Give me a number 1 to 10, please.
Let's do 7.
7. That's probably an easy one. Here we go. Okay, this is probably one you've heard before. I need now a seller. All right, I need a seller. You get to play seller. Just come on, speak up, and you can be the seller. This is an easy part. You can be the seller.
Okay.
Seller.
Who?
Steven.
Steven, you're the seller. You're sitting at the table. Again, we attempt to do most of our objection handling at the table, face-to-face if possible. You had just gone through the listing appointment, and your objection is, Stephen, and you're going to role play with Luke, and you'll have 4 minutes. The other agent said they would charge less. Now, before I start the clock, these guys haven't been on this role play before, and there's more than one way to skin a cat. So we'll let them go through it, and then we'll go back and then discuss it as per model. Guys, this is what we like to do. Acknowledge, isolate. Other than that, get to the center of the Tootsie Pop, answer and close. You have 4 minutes. And the objection is, Luke, the other agent said they'd charge, they would charge less. Go.
Okay. So the agent you interviewed? How many agents have you interviewed?
Oh, yeah. So I think you're the third one this week.
Okay. And one thing that obviously, you know, I'm not going to say that they're bad agents or anything, and then that's not true. I'm sure they're great agents and they'll do a great job at selling your house. But one thing is for sure is that our level of service is very, very high quality. Our communication is very high quality. The marketing we offer is high quality. The constant level of communication alone is a good reason why working with us would be a great choice for yourself. I know a lot of agents, and I'm not sure if these agents are lacking in that area, but I know a lot of agents in the market fail because they have lack of communication. They're not clear on things. They're not, when you're explaining things to them, or when they're explaining things to you, you may, I heard a story one time, a buyer backed out of a deal because they didn't understand the disclosures that well, for instance, right? And the agent just left them hanging a lot of times, didn't offer to explain things to them, didn't offer to sit down and go over paperwork if needed. Obviously, my job is to sell your house, but my job is also to make sure that you're getting help in every area of selling your house, not just getting the offer signed.
So may I just pull a timeout on you right now? Now, what we want to do is give him props. This is the first time he's been on the call. Those guys both on the call. First one to raise their hand and hop into a setting which took a lot of guts to do. I admire him for that. Now, what we want to do is just slow down a little bit. And what we want to do is now then, so you guys can see the difference. You guys can give him some feedback. You guys have been on the call before. Give him some feedback based on our question-based, listening enhanced conversation. So who has some, this is how we grow, you guys. Who has some feedback for him, and we're going to go back and redo this scenario using our model.
So I think that probably asking more questions and hearing what about the commission, like I know from you that he talked a lot, but that was my thought.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, y'all. What else?
It's great what he
Denny, from my side. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mari.
It's great what you were saying. However, we follow the model that is behind Denny. We acknowledge, and then we ask him if he has if he has any other thing that is stopping from signing a contract. So that's the start.
Okay, awesome. And there was another comment. Who was that?
Yeah, that was me, Denny, Rich here. Yeah, acknowledging what that means for the seller, because it was price. It was how much money they were going to net. And you were focused on your value proposition, not their issue.
So, all right. So let's, I think this is a good way to do it. Maybe we watch somebody swing the golf club. We give them a lesson and watch them swing it again. So Rich, are you familiar with a question-based approach?
Yeah, I try to practice that as much as possible.
So can we start from that and let's do it again. Now, let me just give you a couple little hints on how we mean, and Mari was talking about the isolation. So Stephen, so first of all, the acknowledgement is just, I understand. You know, that's all you have to say. I understand. The isolation then goes to this. Other than that, is there any other thing keeping you from doing business with me today? What we want to do, you guys, as a reminder, I've given you a couple of different metaphors, is you unload the groceries, then unpack them and put them away. Get them out of the car, into the kitchen, then put them away. Luke basically then went and started going down his value proposition, and it was probably a minute, 20 seconds, and it would sound like an awesome value proposition. However, in a listing presentation or a buyer presentation, who should be doing most of the talking? It should be them, right? So we say, other than that, so Stephen, I'm going to go to you, and then I'm going to turn it back to Luke here. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Rich. Stephen, other than that, is there any other reason why you wouldn't do business with me today?
No, I mean, I really liked you guys so far. You know, it's just at the end of the day, 1% kind of makes a big deal to the bottom line. So that's really the only thing that I have an issue with.
Now I'm going to close. So are you saying that if we come to a meeting of the minds on fee, you're ready to move forward with me today?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, you know, I told the other agents that I would at least kind of follow back up with them before I made a decision. They asked me if I would do that. So, you know, I think I would like to do that, but to be fair, yeah, out of all the three that have come, I like you guys the best.
Awesome. Now, did we get a commitment from him?
No.
No, that's called a slippery commitment. He should run for politics. He should run for office, right? He was being a good politician. So we're at that point, Rich. All right, we're at that point, Rich. Where do you take it?
I think from there, going in, okay, what is it? What else is on your mind that's stopping you from signing with me today?
Well, hang on just a second. We've just isolated that. That was it. So you're going to now, that was the isolation. That's it. Because I asked him, I gave him the trial close. If we agree on fee, are you ready to move forward? No, yeah, and maybe so. So, all right. So you're at that point. Now I'll shut up and let you play.
Okay. So if it's just the fee that's stopping you today, and we can agree on a fee that works for both of us, what is it that's, oh man, hold on. I lost it. Okay, other than the fee right now. So it's just our fee. So if we can come to an agreement right now and help you move forward and reach your goal of selling this house and purchasing your next one, what is it that I can do? What is it that I'm not showing up for you as well as the other agents?
Yeah, I don't know that it's anything necessarily that you're doing. You know, it's just at the end of the day, you know, the house is $1 million, 2% versus 3%. That makes a big deal to buy a bottom line. I know it's a great house. I kind of feel like I don't think it's gonna sell itself, but I guess if I'm being honest, I think whether you listed or they listed, I'm still gonna sell it for $1 million.
I totally understand. And we've come to an agreement on the price already. So if we can meet, I'm willing to drop my fee here to get this deal done for you. If that were the case, if somebody's going to take food out of their own family's mouth, how well do you think that they're going to negotiate on your behalf to making sure you get top dollar?
I don't know, man. You just dropped your fee pretty quickly on me, so I don't feel like you're going to negotiate very well at all, to be honest.
No, I didn't agree to that. I'm saying if I were to agree to that, like these other agents have, how well do you think that they're willing to negotiate on your behalf?
Yeah, not well.
Okay. So with our value proposition that we've already discussed, right? I understand that 1% extra on $1 million is a lot, but knowing how I'm going to stand up for myself, don't you feel, would it be unreasonable that I would assume you feel comfortable with me making sure you earn top dollar for your property?
No, I feel comfortable with you doing that.
So I brought the listing packet here to sign, and we can go over all the terms and agreements here, and we can get this going forward today.
Yeah, I'm kind of a sleep on it kind of guy, so I'm happy if you leave it and we can go ahead and do our thing, and then I can make my decision tomorrow.
Well,
All
how
right,
about,
All right, I'm going to call
I
time.
totally,
Hang on. Good job. I'm going to call time. Now let's talk about it. How many people feel like he's going to get the listing? Like he wants to sleep on it. How many people feel he's going to get the listing? Cold stone lock.
I don't think,
Mm-mm.
no.
He's interviewing other agents, so he might go for another agent also, so not sure.
Okay. All right. Now, again, you're going to get this objection when people are going to want to discount the fee. Let's go at it one more time. Let me just go through this, and you guys can, Luke and Rich, you guys can compare and contrast. I'll just take a couple of minutes to do it. So, all right, it's fee, right? So if we agree on fee, we're ready to move forward. Is that what you're saying, Stephen?
I think we're close. I mean, fees the main thing. I like you. I think you're great. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's dollars and cents to me, man.
Well, all right. So just for clarity, when you say that we're close, what else is concerning you?
I wouldn't say there's anything else concerning me. I met two other people. One of them I didn't really care for, but I did like one of the other guys, and he asked if I'd kind of give him the opportunity to talk again before I made a decision. I feel like I should do that.
Okay, and what would that conversation be like?
I don't know. I don't know what it is that he would have in mind. He was kind of on the fence like you were about dropping the fee and whether or not any other agents would be willing to drop it. And I don't know, maybe if I called him back and said I'm thinking about going somebody else, he would drop that fee a little bit.
Okay, and then so now you're gonna get us into a bidding war with your home?
I don't want to get into a bidding war, but I mean, at the end of the day, 2% of $1 million is still a great paycheck for you, Denny.
So it sounds like you're concerned about what you walk away with the house. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Definitely.
So if he were, so let's just, now you guys, here's what I want you to understand. If there's some ambiguity, he's doing that slippery dance again, dig, because if you don't get the splinter out, it's going to fester. So I'm gonna, this is the only opportunity you're going to have, because if you don't do it now, there may not be a tomorrow. You agree with that, right? So how would you feel then if you go back and basically say, well, Denny's going to do it for this, and then would you respect your agent to discount their fee again?
No, I wouldn't think that. I just, I'm a business person myself, and I think it's worth my time to negotiate to get the best deal as well.
Oh, okay. And so after you talk to him and he comes down $1, are you going to come back to me to see if I come down $1 too?
No, I don't think I'd do that.
Why? You gave him that benefit. Why wouldn't you give me that benefit?
Are you asking for it?
Well, no, because I don't operate that way. You say you're a businessman, right?
Yeah.
This is a business transaction. So I'm kind of a bottom line guy. I mean, if you want to put money in your pocket, then let's talk about putting money in your pocket.
Sure.
And if you put more money in your pocket, is fee even important?
No, at the end of the day, it's bottom line to me. That's all I care about.
That's what I care about too. I'm just attempting to help you understand. If you're looking for bottom line, let's have that conversation, okay?
Yeah.
Now, you said, I'm going to step out of role here a little bit. It's $1 million property. You said something about 3% or 2%. I have no earthly idea. You're coming from, where are you located?
Dallas, Texas.
So what does that mean? What is a 2 and a 3%? Somebody's going to list your home for 2 or 3%?
Well, no, I mean, we're talking, I guess 5 or 6%, but I'm just thinking like I've got to pay. And I guess to be fair, I know a little bit about real estate, right? So I guess it's hard for me to pretend I don't, but I know I have to pay 3% on the buy side. So I'm just thinking, how much is the listing agent going to take 2 or 3%?
Right. Okay. So what the other agent offer in fee? So you want the best deal, right? What do they offer you?
So they were at 5.5% total, and you said you guys are at 6.
And so they were 5.5. So what did they state to you that they're going to pay the other broker?
3%.
Okay. And what was their original proposition? Was it 6 and you were able to negotiate down a half a point?
That's it. Yep.
Okay, now, Rich, that's where you took him. However, do you see, I wanted to take him down. Now he's actually said his other agent started at 6, came down to 5.5, right? Sometimes you're better off building a little bit of a case like a trial lawyer than asking the question that basically now, what kind of negotiator are you hiring then, Steve? It's the same thing, same clothes that Rich used. So is negotiation important to you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And so they just gave away 25% of their fee and they're going to negotiate the equity in your house. Can you see how that can work against you?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't feel great about it when he just kind of so easily gave up. I was like, man, how are you going to negotiate against a different agent?
Well, I can solve that problem for you. Would you like me to solve it?
I would love to.
You could hire me because I'm worth every penny of that 0.5%. In fact, let's quantify that. That 0.5% is going to be worth what? Help me out here. $5,000?
Yeah, maybe $5,000 or $10,000.
So are you're gonna roll the dice for $5,000?
I don't feel great about it, to be honest. No.
Well, let's move forward. Okay, so he might just be tired of playing that role. I don't know. Did you guys? What did I do differently? I used what Rich did. What did I use? What did I do differently, guys?
You kept asking me like, and I apologize to Rich and Luke. I know I'm kind of like an a-hole in scripting, but it's just because I like people to be difficult on me because it's never as easy as we pretend.
It's realistic. Thank you.
But so, you were asking me questions that were like, I couldn't just weasel out of them, right? I couldn't just kind of like give you a half non-answer and move on to the next thing.
But you called it out too, Denny. You said, okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to go back and give him the option in a bidding war. So he'll take $1 more off of his price. And then are you going to come back to me? That seems unreasonable, right? You gave him that opportunity. I loved how you called it out. You went, hey, okay, this seller is this A-type. He's a businessman. He wants to go down this path. I'm going to walk it with him before he even knows where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a businessman, he came across like a D, like a bottom line guy.
Yeah.
And so you got to focus on the bottom line. And if he had kept pushing on that, I said, Stephen, don't you? I mean, you're kind of a direct guy. I mean, I bet you hate wasting time, don't you?
Absolutely.
Well, why don't you just save time? I'll do it for free. Fair enough.
I don't know if that's going to work out so well, Denny.
Why? You want the best deal possible. So why don't you just let us negotiate where we're doing it for free? Will that make you feel better? Now you're asking him a question that makes him think like, wait a minute, that doesn't even compute. And I could defend a good listing agent's free, but however, I want him to see the folly. If he wants to keep going back and forth to the point where he's not paying the listing agent anything, do you think that's good? No.
Right.
All right, what else did I do different, you guys? Really quick, we'll go on another one. Raise your hand if you want to be a role player. I'll take number 7 out. Any other ahas?
I mean, I can just tell you from my end for sure. It was, at one point I was like, God, this is a little confrontational. Like, I don't know if I'd really like this in a listing appointment, but what you did is put me in a position where it's like, I realized that what I'm asking for is kind of ridiculous, right? And I can't defend it anymore. Like you said, what do you want to do it for free? Like, well, no, I don't want you to do it for free. Well, okay, well, if it's not 3% and that's 2.5%, it's not free. What's the magic number that you're going to do it for? So you kind of trapped me.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so who's next? Who's got a hand up? Come on, this is why we play. Don't be a scaredy cat. All right, the new guys played. Mari, come on.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it, but don't have high expectations.
No, oh my gosh, don't make me coach you right now. Adam raised his hand. All right, Adam, pick a number between 1 and 10. It can't be 7.
4.
4. You'll go next. 4. All right, here we go. Another seller one. Another seller. And who wants to be the seller on this? Al, you'd be perfect.
Okay.
Who said that? Oh, Alan. Okay, Alan, you're the seller. You're at the listing table and you say, hey, look, I don't want people coming in my house. I don't want people coming in my house. That's the objection. And go, Adam. No, yeah, Adam.
Okay, Alan, so
Watch behind me now. Watch
What's-
behind me. Watch behind me.
other than not wanting people in your house, is there anything else that would keep us from moving forward here today?
Not having anybody come through my home is a big issue. So you can tell me what you can do to sell my house and get around that. I'm willing to listen.
Great, okay. So, let me ask you this, what's more important to you? Is it more important to sell your house for top dollar? Or would you be willing to take less and have less people see the home?
Hang on, Alan, hang on. Now, when he said that, what you want to do is you've got to close. What would be a close? You guys are giving away too much information without going for the close. What would be the closing question then?
So if I can solve your issue of having people coming in and out of your home, you would be willing to move forward here with me today?
Yes, you guys, you can't miss that opportunity. And sometimes you don't want to state it the way he said it. Well, if I could solve your concern about that, you see, I didn't say there wouldn't be people coming in his home. If I could solve your concern about that, are you ready to move forward with me today? Go, Alan.
Yeah, based on our previous conversation, this is the main issue right now.
Stepping out of role, I really don't know where to go. I mean, I would offer to be there for the showings if that would solve his concern, and I would do that. That would be tough, but I would.
All right. Well, again, there's two ingredients we need to understand when we're talking to a buyer.
Nice.
Two
Yeah, I'm rusty.
ingredients. What are they?
What is it about people coming through the home that makes them uncomfortable?
Yeah, when you get to that, but why is he selling anyway? You've got to go to motivation, right?
Yep.
Then you've got to find his pain point. So when you're at a loss, that means basically you're the Uber driver and you don't know where the passenger's going. The only way to find out is you're going to have to ask some questions. And if you ask enough questions, they'll lead you right to the mailbox in which you're going to drop them off. So you want to keep going, Adam, or you want to tag team it?
Yeah, let me take one more shot and then yeah, tag me. Okay, Alan. So I understand your concern. Let me ask you this: what's more important to you, getting top dollar for your home and opening it up to the most amount of buyers, or getting to the next destination?
Why don't you ask him about the next? That's motivation is the next destination. That's going to be his reason for selling. His
Just
reason
right to
for
it.
selling has to be greater than maybe somebody coming in his home.
Tell me again why we're selling the home.
There you go. There you go.
We've got a child that's quite sick. And because of that, we've got to move outside the city into an area where there's less smog and higher elevation.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's pretty important to you to get that done.
Oh, absolutely.
Would you say it's more important to you than having some people come through your home so that we can sell it for top dollar?
No, my child's health is most important.
Hang on a second. That's the second time you said top dollar. I'm just bringing it up. He never said top dollar. And the reason I bring that out is everyone's telling us the most money possible in the shortest amount of time and the least hassles. I don't know who, somebody read that on the back of a cereal box. That's not always what motivates sellers. One more thing, you did this well. I want you guys to pick up on it. When he talked about his son, there was a note. I would like to hear a little bit more. That's when you got to be empathetic and not be sterile. Oh, wow. Then you said that's really important to you, right? That was beautiful. So that's why this conversation rolls around like that. So now Okay, so what would you ask now? Okay, you're giving him the either or. So you're doing good. I'll let you go a little bit further and see where you go with it.
And so moving across town and getting to a higher elevation, that's going to be pretty important for you and your son.
No, we have to move out of town. We got to move out of the city.
Right. Yeah, out of the city for sure. I got it. Yeah, I'm a little rusty.
Well, let me help you out. So
Yeah.
when would you like to do that, Alan? See, it may be timing, not money. He's got a sick kid. I mean, if his wife was sick, he may not move, right? His son is sick. So obviously you got to take care of your son. So when would you like to move, Alan?
Well, it's summer's approaching, and we got to. It's being recommended to us that we try and get out of the valley or out of the city here prior to the heat coming back in and the smog settling back in.
So we're in September now. When would that be? When by summer?
Actually, probably by no later than March or April.
Oh. Okay. Well, when you say, okay, so when you say you don't, I think you said you don't want people coming in my home. What did you mean by that?
Well, with what he's got, he's very contagious, and we just don't want people bringing in their own germs and having a situation where we're having to rush them to the emergency room again. So we prefer just not to have anybody come in.
I see. Well, let me ask you, do you work outside the home?
No, I don't. Both my wife and I work out of the house because of this.
So you don't go out at all?
No, we go out, but when we come back in, like I say, we just robe and shower and then before we get, with our child.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. So under what circumstances would you let one person come into the home, one person that wanted to buy your home? What would have to happen to make you feel comfortable?
If we had somebody that was really serious that had seen the home in another through another means that was really serious, like I say, maybe take the child out and then would have to maybe have booties, and I don't know, we could check with the doctors about some type of gown and let him come in.
Now, this could be real. We're talking this a little bit extreme. However, I want you to see the strategy. I'm letting him tell me what works for him instead of me going with a typical banter. We say, well, we got to have a lot of people in the house to get you the top dollar. And I'm not making fun of you, Adam. I'm just saying that that's how we're programmed to talk. Rather than if we'll ask enough questions, they will solve their own problems. And we found this out with COVID last year. Is it possible to sell a home without anyone seeing it? Yes. And is it possible? He just said, well, they can look at it another means. And so what you're saying is if we have somebody that had already seen your home and narrowed it down, then they like it and they're qualified, is there a way that it's like focus on the plan, not the problem. How would it work? And because in their minds, this is what I learned this in COVID. They're thinking like, a tryout, like people getting on Space Mountain or something. People like all these people walking through the home and open house, like cooties everywhere, right? It doesn't have to be that way. Any comments on that?
I thought it was super well done.
All right, Stephen, I think you're next.
I was just going to say, Denny, when you asked those certain questions, I mean, what you opened up and he was able to just feel comfortable that you were listening. It was really powerful. I mean, you think of my line and it went it wasn't even addressing his real concern. So, yep.
Yeah, that was my thought too. I was thinking like, what are the things that I would say? And I would be like, okay, well, I have all these solutions. We could get you out of the house for a weekend, but like that he doesn't want to hear any of that. So I would have gone down the exact same route that Adam did and gone nowhere. But then you, just by asking him, like, essentially, you tell me what it is that we need to do, and he's gonna tell you something.
Go back to your college or high school days when many of you guys worked as servers. Why don't we just ask them what they want on the menu and how they like it cooked? That'd be a good idea. All right, you're up, Stephen. 1 to 10, it can't be 4 or 7.
Oh, number 9.
Love potion number 9. Okay. This could be a buyer or seller. Who wants to be a buyer or seller?
I want to be the, oh, never mind.
What?
No, I wanted to be the agent, but I think you picked an agent. So I'll wait.
All right, all right. Who wants to be a buyer or seller? This is the easy part. Come on,
I can be the buyer or seller.
All right, Mari, here we go. Here's what the concern is. It's general, so I'm going to read the concern. You tell me if you're a buyer or seller. I'm concerned about the market. That's the objection. You could be a buyer or a seller. What do you want to be?
Buyer.
All right, Stephen.
Okay. All right, Mari. So, we've had several conversations. I know that kind of the last thing you had mentioned was that you were just a little concerned about the market before you moved forward with a purchase. Is that's still the case?
Yeah, I'm really highly concerned about that because last year we were at 3% and now my lender is telling me 7%. I don't want to pay those high interest rates, so I think I better wait.
Got you. I can totally understand that. Remind me again, why are you looking to make a move?
By the way, that you guys, that was a beautiful, beautiful acknowledgement. All you need, just say it. I understand and keep moving. Nice job. Keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt. That's just my job to interrupt. It was a good one.
Yeah, Mari. So what was the reason again that you were wanting to move?
I want to go to Bakersfield where I want to start my new project, and I'm too far from that city, and I know that what I want to do it's in that city, but I'm not going to pay 7%. That's ridiculous. That's way too high.
Right. Listen, I hear you. Let me ask you a question. What would happen? I know you want to get this business started. What would happen if next year the rates are 10%? Are you just never going to start your business?
That's a good question. I think the rates will go down, so I'm gonna just going to hang in here and for a while until the rates drop.
Sure. Listen, I totally understand that. I hope they drop too, but again, what would you do if they didn't? I know that we got it. You want to get this business started in the next 12 months. So
yeah,
what would you do if they don't drop?
I'm just gonna rent.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't really know where to go from there. I guess if it was me, I would go and kind of, like you said, I'm kind of a numbers person. So.
Hey, I'm not letting you out that easy. Stay and roll. Come on, you got to land the plane. There's no pilot.
Okay, Mari, I hear you saying that you would want to rent, but would that really be the best business decision for your money to kind of spend all that money on rent and not start gaining equity in a house?
I am planning to rent if I don't. Well, right now I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think the rent over there is like $1,500, and if I buy the house, it's going to be $2,300. So that's a big difference. And I'll rent, and when the interest drops, then I'll buy.
Got you. I hear you. Have you spoken with the lender about maybe some all adjustable rate options where maybe you can get the rate now, go ahead and buy the house, and then when rates drop in a couple of years, like you think they're going to, you can refinance at a lower rate?
Oh, he told me about the refinancing. Of course, that if the interest rates drop, but I didn't know about the adjustable rate. That's a good. Maybe that would be a good option. I don't know how much would that be if I get that.
Yeah, I think it may be a great idea to go back and talk to Linda again and see if they have some options that work for you. You know, I hope rates go down and you can refinance in a couple of years. But my fear is, what if we wait and in 2 years the rates have just gone up and prices have gone up, and you know you can't afford to buy the house you want in your budget anymore.
All right, I'm gonna stop. Rich, you had your hand up. What do you want to say?
One thing I talk about when they're renting is I bring up the interest rate on rent, right?
Okay.
Yeah, now it's 7%. Your mortgage would be 7%, but you're also gaining equity on that, right? And right now you're going to pay 100% interest. So if you want to do the math, even if it's $1,500 a month times 12 months, right? You're paying almost $15,000 a year, and that's going money just burning out your window.
Okay, well, be careful. I know you're talking to us. Most you run that through a particular, most buyers are not going to quite understand it because most people don't grasp numbers well verbally. They have to see it. Although it's a good tact. Here's one thing I want to say is that on that, if she rents, she still owns. So if I were playing the buyer and well, I still own my home here. I'm just going to rent in Bakersfield. So I'm riding the equity elevator up and waiting for rates to drop. So now what are you going to do with that?
Yeah, I guess that would be the conversation of how far away do you live? Do you want to make that trip every day?
So any input on that? Any input?
Denny, I think that one thing we didn't ask her is what rate would she be comfortable with? I mean, is she thinking the 2.5%, 3%, or is she thinking 5%? So are we dealing with a 2% differential or a 4%?
Well, you're going down a good tact, Alan. Yeah, Alan. You've got when most people talk about interest rates, they don't understand what the delta is. Now, she did articulate that when she said 1,500 to 2,400 or whatever she said, and you've got to get down to the delta. Then how much the delta is the difference. So then what's the tolerance? So all right, so let me see if I can land a plane, and then you'll be next.
All right, thanks.
So Mari, so let me get this right. You want to wait to buy in Bakersfield until the rates go down, right?
Right.
Well, you own now, right? That's why I'm here about maybe selling your home. So you own, correct?
No, I am renting right now, but I'm not in Bakersfield. I am in Camarillo, which is 100 miles away.
You guys write this down and put it on your license plate, get a tattoo across your forehead. When you're working with buyers, the first question you have to find out is, are they an owner or are they a renter? If they're a renter, I mean, oh my gosh, that's like going into a casino and playing a slot machine that has a big flashing sign and a red arrow saying, this machine never pays off. How foolish would that be, right? So you're renting now, right? How long have you been renting, Mari?
I've been renting for the last 7 years.
Have you ever thought about owning during that 7 years?
Yes, of course I did.
And for what reason did you not decide to build equity?
I was thinking that the prices were too high.
You see what she's doing? She's digging a pit and she's going to fall in it. Y'all seeing that? Well, you thought the price would be too high, right?
Yes.
When you started 7 years ago, the house you're in, what would it have sold for? Do you have any idea?
Oh, 7 years ago. You mean how much it was sold for? Oh,
yeah.
7 years ago.
If you could have bought it 7 years ago. Now I'm asking her I'm not pinning her down, like, have any idea? I'm giving her wiggle room. Like, what would you guess it would have sold for 7 years ago? Because they're not going to know. What do you think?
Well, I think that house that I want to buy now, probably 250, but now it's 450.
250 7 years ago and 450 now?
Yes.
Okay, stepping out of role, she's probably off on her numbers based on what's happened in the marketplace, right? But I'll just use her numbers. That's wow, that's $200,000.
Yes,
If you could go back and do it again, would you have bought at 250? So now your home would be worth $200,000 more?
yeah, I wish I had bought it then, but I didn't.
And the reason you didn't buy is because your theory of the market was wrong.
Yeah, I thought that the prices were going to drop. Everybody was saying that.
Do you think there's any possibility that your theory on interest rates coming down could be equally as wrong?
It is a possibility.
See, that's what you want to do. You've got to take them back, walk them through the pain of their decision. And what's different now? Have you been eating a lot of vegetables? Now your clairvoyance is better? You see what I did? So it didn't really
Denny.
matter how she answered the questions. I mean, you've got to walk them through. If particularly in the last 2 years, I mean, we've seen 40 to 70% change in prices in the last last 2 years, 40 to 70%. Every renter out there wishes they acted 2 years ago. So it's a wide street to drive down, you guys. You've got to take them back. Remember, motivation, pain. That's the pain. And if that didn't work, I'd say, okay, let's one more thing, y'all, and you're up. Well, you said your payment is, your rent is $1,500, and the monthly investment on the new house was how much? $2,300.
Yes,
So that's all right. That's 15 to 23. So that's fine. That's $800 more, right? And
correct.
is it affordability? Is it the fact you don't think you can afford the 800?
I don't have the money.
Okay, and that was from 3% to 6%, right?
Yes,
Trying to decide which way I want to go with this. What would you? This is a question you guys ask, and I'm almost done. What do you think? Now, you can't go back. Like I can't go back and get my high school tuxedo. It was really nice. Powder blue. It was really cool. I can't get into it. So what would you be willing to invest? Because you're not, 1,500 is not reasonably realistic, is it?
yeah, it's not.
So what is, if you can afford 800 more, so what would you be willing to pay more to own a home instead of rent?
I think I could pay probably 1,900, but the interest is, I mean, paying $800 extra. I mean, last year I could have got it like 1,500 and I didn't. I could pay up to 1,900 probably, yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to take the time, but you guys were already on this. I think this is what Rich was bringing up. She's paying she'd be willing to pay she would be willing to throw away $1,900 a month on 100%. So you're paying 100% now. What I'm attempting to do is whittle her down. I don't want to take the time to do it to a smaller number. It's going to be $300, $400. So it's going to be $10 or $20, maybe $40 a day, or who knows what. That's what I'm attempting to do. Anyway, so anything on that? Go.
What if she said it was an affordability issue?
Okay, well, that would be a fish of another color. So why even worry about 2,300 if you can't afford it? What can you afford? And owning at something she can afford is better than renting to that same number. Okay, y'all. What number, please?
1.
I know you so well. I knew you'd get this one.
All right.
All right, last one for today. I need a seller. So Rich and Luke, you guys can step in. Luke, why don't you start us off? Why don't you land the plane? You are a seller. You good?
Sure.
All right. Here is objection. Y'all be careful. She is a barracuda. All right, here's your objection at the table. My house isn't ready.
Oh, I just got this. Okay. This is so this is in person. Okay. I just had this twice. All right, your house isn't ready. Okay. How long do you think it would take? Okay, I get it. So other than your house being ready, is there any other reason that's holding you back from moving forward?
No, that's the only reason.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so let me ask you, how long do you think it would take you to get your house ready to sell?
Shoot, I don't know. I've been procrastinating a lot. The walls are just painted all different colors in every room, and just I do not think it would sell well unless we change that.
So you wanted to change the paint colors?
Yeah, and it's yeah, make it a little more consistent. The floors and the kitchens are just fine and just not very appealing.
Okay, I get it. And tell me, what's the reason that you guys are thinking of selling at this point?
It was more like a want than a need, I would say. We kind of, contemplated getting a 4th bedroom so that I could work from home more. But in all reality, honestly, it's a want more than a need.
I understand. So having that extra space for you to work at home is what's propelling you to really sell and buy.
Exactly.
Yeah, hang on. I'm just going to stop right there. That's a good question. However, it's not, you're talking about the 4th bedroom. It's not the 4th bedroom. It's what the 4th bedroom is going to do for him. It's going to get
Got
him.
it. Wow. Okay, so let me do that. So what will that do for you? He just said he'll be able to work from home if he has a 4th bedroom, but what will that do for you to be able to work from home?
There you go.
There you go.
Stop yelling at me. I'm getting upset. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I would say I would do a few things. Maybe on, certain days when, for example, every now and then we have internet outages at home at our office. And I've never had that issue at home. So on a day that there's an issue with the internet, I could come home. And then not just that, another good reason would be like, if I want to spend all day calling, like cold calling or something, I wouldn't have to necessarily, I don't have an office, like an actual individual office at our facility. So being able to be at home in an isolated bunker, you could say, to do all my calling uninterrupted would be very nice.
All right, before you answer, do you hear what I hear? That's the sound of the shovel. He's digging a hole and he's going to fall in it.
All right, let's see. Okay, so if we could take care of.
Hang on.
Oh,
Hang on.
yeah.
You guys, when they're sharing, what else? Hang on, y'all. I want you to answer this. You're missing something. This is what I'm attempting to teach you guys. You're missing something. Let's not be robots. He said it'd be several things, and I cut him off. You only did 2 things. What do those 2 things do for him?
Make him more money.
Yes. So you have to acknowledge that. It sounds like those 2 items can really increase your productivity, right? And what would that mean to your family? So just let's not be sterile about this. You got to get into it. Okay. So now y'all, you had the right.
So am I asking, so I'm asking, what would that mean? Am I making an assumption that I just made an assumption it would make him more money? I said, what would it do for you? And he said, I won't have my internet outage and I'll have a private office to make calls. So then do I ask another layer and said, how will that affect your life to have those?
Well,
do I ask another?
You could, but on both of those, I heard productivity.
Okay. So that will increase. Okay. So how would,
It sounds like that would make you more productive, wouldn't it?
yes. It sounds like that would make you more productive, wouldn't it? think I sound like a robot right there.
So, and he said yes. All right, now I'll let you
Yes.
land the plane.
So if we can, so if we can get you more productive, making more money by getting you a larger space. No, I could land, the way I would land the plane is if we could take care of this issue with getting your house ready for sale. Are you ready to move ahead with me?
Well, ask, it's your role play.
Okay, because I didn't address all of those issues. So I didn't address.
Well, what
So
is
let's
the
address-
issue? What is,
I'll address it.
no.
What?
Identify it. What is the issue?
The issue was that his house isn't, his issue was that his house isn't ready to list. That's the issue.
Okay.
I'm okay. What would it take you to get your house ready? Then he told me painting and doing the kitchen and floors.
Yes.
Denny, advise me, where do I go?
All right, so Stephen, right on, Stephen. So all those things, when you have that fourth bedroom, that's going to make you more productive, right? And what do you think that extra productivity would mean to you and your family financially?
You want me to role play this?
Yeah.
I would say that would mean more time for my family.
Okay. So let's just
I would
because
say it would mean more time for my family, more financial freedom.
yeah. If you could put a dollar sign on it, what would it look like?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I don't know that I could put a particular dollar sign on it.
Well, I guess, all right, I understand, no worries. So let me ask you, if you're more productive when you have that fourth bedroom, that means you're less productive without it, correct? Am I being, can you hear me or not?
I hear you.
Did he go?
We cut out of, I don't know what we cut out. So you asked me, so I gave you my response that it's kind of hard to answer that question about the dollar sign.
I got it, but I said, so if you're going to be more productive with the fourth bedroom, that means you're less productive without it, correct?
Correct.
All right, so then the longer we delay, let me ask you, how long would it take to get your house ready?
I really don't know. Honestly, I'm pretty busy already. We don't really have the money to pay for other people to do the work. Again, we tend to think it's one really, there really is a need.
I got it. Well, okay, I understand. The issue is, what if somebody would take it just the way it is?
True, but I was kind of running the numbers and I'm not really sure that it would get us to where unless we fix up the place.
So when you ran your numbers, did you add the amount of money you would have to put into it in order to get some more out of it?
Yeah, we did that.
And you think you'll come out ahead by making the improvements?
Yes.
Are you factoring in market risk?
No.
No. Most people aren't going to know what I said. What did I mean by that? You know, because you're in the industry. What's market risk?
Well, I would assume that you meant like the risk of the market going down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing more inventory go on the market. So what if your home is worth less each and every week while you decide whether or not you want to find the time and the money to fix things up? Have you factored that in?
I have not.
So that's where I would take it.
Did you go into the impact report? Because most times putting money in doesn't really do anything other than
Sure.
scraping the floors.
Then how would you, I'll let you close it with this. How would you do that? Which is a great thing. And you guys should make note of this. It's the cost benefit report the National Association puts out. conjunction with the National Building Association. How would you ask that as a question, Yael?
Have you heard of the National Association Remodeling Impact Report?
Yes, okay.
Yes, you have.
No, see, no, keep going. Come on, keep going.
Going, keep going. So
No,
would you like? to show
Hey,
you-
sorry to interrupt real quick. I cut out for 1 second. You began to ask me the question and then it cut out.
I'll go
So
and
are
line
you
the plane
aware
for you. No, I haven't heard of it.
Okay, so there's a return of investment on repairs, and basically I can show you the report here, but the only thing that has a return of investment is scraping your hardwood floors. Other than that, there's like on average 80% return of investment of the dollar. What if someone would take your house the way it was just, okay. So with that in mind, do you still think it's necessary to remodel your home before putting it on the market?
I don't know, maybe not. So you guys
Right.
make note of that. You make note of that report. And so basically the question is, a simpler way of asking it, would you spend $1 to get 80 cents back? Because,
I would not $1 to get 80 cents back.
so let's get some ahas from the call today. What did you learn? Give me 2 or 3 ahas, and I appreciate you being on. Don't go yet. What did the new boys learn? Are you still there? Rich? Yeah.
Yeah, we're here.
Did you guys learn anything?
I learned that I need to ask more questions.
Good. That's what we teach.
Dig in deeper to isolating the objection and addressing it specifically.
Awesome. One more.
You use their words. You said, if you're telling me having the extra bedroom will make you more productive and you are less productive, you use his words.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on. If I can help you in any way, let me know. Friday, 1 to 2. Be careful out there.
Thank you, Denny.
Thank you, Kenny.
Next time, Denny. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Denny.
You're welcome, Mike.
I love the powder blue reference. That was perfect. Thank you.
Only you would do that. Come on.
I loved it.
All
Thank
right.
you, brother. I'll see you next week. Thank you.